Dave Mustaine is a name that's known throughout the rock and metal music industry. Even those who are not big fans of his band know him. But do we really know who he is? His impact as the driving force behind Megadeth and heavy metal, and his journey through triumphs, setbacks, and personal growth is a story that goes beyond music. It's proof that darkness can be turned into an artistic fire that leads someone to success. This is the story of Dave Mustaine, the heavy metal legend, a troubled youth. Dave Mustaine was born on September 13, 1961, the youngest of four siblings. Although he had generally a good relationship with them, Dave had a difficult childhood. He says that he comes from a broken family, with both of his parents being alcoholics. Due to his parents' divorce, he had to move around a lot. Since his sisters were much older than him, he found himself staying with them and their husbands. Eventually, Dave became so much closer to his youngest sister, Debbie, who played the piano. That led him to pick up and learn the guitar at age 13 because it was fun. He thought that the guitar's sound made his sister's piano sound better. Despite the challenges he faced early in his life, Dave found solace in music. The music he listened to was heavily influenced by his sisters and their partners. He found his musical influences to be quite varied, from British invasion bands like the Zombies to classic rock bands like Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple. He also listened to a lot of rhythm and blues, which he credits with helping him develop his unique playing style. By age 15, Dave was living by himself. And although Dave's teenage years were as troubled as his childhood, his love for music and playing the guitar got him through all of it. Panic. Dave's first band was Panic, which he formed in his late teens. He was the lead guitarist for the band. It was during this time that he was able to write his first song called Jump in the Fire. Some of the Panic songs that Dave wrote were later on used for Megadeth, like N2RHQ, now Hangar 18, and Child Saint, now called Rust in Peace. Unfortunately, the band was only short-lived, as two of the members, Mike Leftwick and Tom Queek, died in car accidents. Dave was devastated by what happened to the band and his losses, but he didn't let that stop him from continuing on his musical journey. The rise of Metallica. In 1981, Dave found a listing in the classified section of the newspaper that said, "Looking for lead guitar player that likes Motorhead and Saxon." He called the number right away. When they first met, Dave was surprised that it was too easy for him to join the band, but they got along right away and formed the now legendary band, Metallica. The band had written songs right away, and according to Dave, it was mostly him and James Hetfield who were writing the songs. They had a solid set of songs with them, but Dave had a big problem with alcohol and drugs during that time. It wasn't until 2 years after Dave joined Metallica that they managed to start recording their first album, Kill 'Em All. But unfortunately, Dave's stay with Metallica didn't last too long. No warning, no second chance. It was early 1983 when Dave was fired from Metallica because of his alcoholism, drug abuse, aggressive behavior, and personal clashes with members James and Lars. According to Dave, his being fired was a no warning, no second chance incident. The band suddenly woke Dave, who was suffering a hangover, and told him that he was out of the band. They packed his gear and drove him to a bus terminal. He was put on a bus bound for Los Angeles. At the time, Dave said that they had already decided without his knowledge Kirk Hammett was already hired as his replacement before he even knew he was out. He was furious at the time because not only was he kicked out so suddenly, the rest of the band was on their way to record the debut album, for which he wrote some of the material. On the bus ride to Los Angeles, he scribbled lyrics on the back of a handbill, which later became the song Set the World Afire from the Megadeth album So Far, So Good, So What. So even if things didn't go well with Metallica, it was a turning point in Dave's musical career. One of the big four. As soon as Dave arrived back in Los Angeles after being fired from Metallica, he started the search for new bandmates for his band. He vowed to start a band that's even better than Metallica. He enlisted the help of bass player Dave Elvison, guitarist Greg Hanavit, and drummer Dijon Carruthers. After unsuccessful vocalist auditions, Dave took on the duties himself during their first rehearsal. This was on top of playing lead and rhythm guitar. The demo that Megadeth recorded as a three-piece band got the attention of Chris Poland, who then joined the band. In November of the same year, they signed a deal with Combat Records and immediately began touring. They also released their first album, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good, under the same label in 1985. Megadeth found success right away thanks to their aggressive sound and Dave's legendary guitar playing. A year after releasing their debut album, Dave was able to have a custom-built guitar made to accommodate Dave's playing style. Jackson Guitars modified their existing Jackson King 5 model by adding 2 more frets. It wasn't long until they mass-produced what is now the iconic Dave Mustaine signature series. Dave later adopted Gibson guitars, leading to the creation of the Dave Mustaine Collection, a series dedicated to him. Megadeth continued to make successful albums, with their early albums such as Peace Sells But Who's Buying and Rust in Peace, now considered classics of the thrash metal genre. To this day, Megadeth is considered one of the most important metal bands of all time, even labeled as one of the Big Four alongside Metallica, Slayer, and Anthrax. Although the band experienced many lineup changes, Dave remained the consistent driving force behind Megadeth's evolution and success. As the years passed, Megadeth's legacy continued to expand, influencing new generations of musicians and fans alike. Saturday Night Palsy. In 2002, Megadeth had to temporarily disband when Dave was diagnosed with Saturday Night Palsy, a condition that left him unable to grasp or even make a fist with his left hand. Such a condition meant that he'd no longer be able to play his guitar. For the months following his announcement of disbandment, Dave underwent intense physical therapy 5 days a week. During his recovery, he explored other areas of the music industry, including production. Doctors predicted that it would take Dave a long time before he could recover, but with pure determination, he was able to recover in a short time. Slowly, Dave began to play again, but was forced to reteach his left hand how to use the guitar. In 2 years, he was able to form Megadeth again. Dave fought through a big challenge that stopped him from doing what he's passionate about, but he came out on top after it. Music is life. Dave's known for popularizing the spider chord technique for playing power chords, a method that streamlines hand position changes and reduces string noise. Although he's best known for his excellent skills in playing the guitar, Dave's also a great songwriter. His turbulent childhood and teen years gave him a sense of angst that manifests itself in his music. He channels the raw emotions he has into his lyrics, which is what makes his songs so raw, vulnerable, and relatable. Above all, despite his public image of being confrontational or at odds with others, he's shown a different side when it comes to music. Dave thrives in collaborative environments, welcoming inputs from bandmates and producers. This openness leads to diverse and genre-bending music that defies easy categorization. And even while collaborating with others, he manages to stand out and be the driving force behind his music. He retains creative control, ensuring his unique voice and vision shine through in every song. That is what makes him as legendary as he is. Even with a career that spans more than 4 decades, his impact and influence is still strong. Dave Mustaine's journey from a troubled youth finding solace in music to becoming a legend in heavy metal is a testament to his resilience and artistic passion. He conquered all setbacks and still came out as one of metal's most respected and influential figures. He's known for his outspoken personality and dedication to his craft, which has solidified his position as a heavy metal legend.